Here is a fact that catches out even experienced drivers and commuters. On a hot summer afternoon, the steel of a railway line can sit roughly 20 degrees Celsius hotter than the air around it. That is why you can be standing on a platform in what feels like a pleasant 28 degrees while Network Rail is already imposing precautionary speed restrictions on the track beneath you. Welcome to Tuesday the 4th of August 2026, and this is your UK weather and travel briefing. We are now in the deepest part of the British summer. Schools across England, Wales, and Northern Ireland are firmly into their holidays. Scottish pupils are counting down their final fortnight before term restarts in mid-August, and the road and rail networks are carrying the heaviest leisure load of the year. Over the next few minutes we will cover what is happening right now, what has changed recently, how it is affecting daily life, and where the week is heading. The single most useful skill on a day like today is knowing how to read an official warning rather than a headline. The Met Office issues alerts on 3 tiers. Yellow means be aware, with impacts likely for a minority of people in the affected area. Amber means be prepared, with a good chance of travel disruption, power interruptions, and risk to life. Red is the rarest, meaning take action, because widespread damage or danger is expected. Alongside that sits the Heat Health Alert system, run jointly by the UK Health Security Agency and the Met Office, which operates every year from the 1st of June through to the 30th of September. Those alerts are aimed at the health and social care sector, and they are graded on the same colour scale. The key point for today is simple: check both systems before you commit to a long journey, because a yellow thunderstorm warning covering only part of a region can still shut a single motorway junction and add 2 hours to your afternoon. The wider travel picture this summer has been shaped by decisions taken months ago. Back on the 2nd of May 2026, the government set out its plans to protect the summer holiday period from disruption, aimed squarely at keeping the airport, rail and road networks moving through the busiest weeks of the year. National Highways publishes a rolling road closure report so drivers can see planned overnight and weekend closures in advance, and its standard practice through peak holiday periods is to lift and suspend as many roadworks as it safely can, returning hundreds of miles of carriageway to normal running. That is genuinely useful, but it comes with a catch worth knowing. Lifted roadworks are not removed roadworks. Cones are often pulled back while narrow lanes, temporary surfaces, and reduced speed limits stay in place, and some sites are reinstated the moment the peak passes. So the smart move today is not to assume clear motorways, but to check the published closure report for your specific route the morning you travel. August is a punishing month for cars, and the reasons are mechanical rather than mysterious. Heat accelerates battery degradation, so a battery that struggled last winter and has limped through spring is far more likely to give up now. Cooling systems come under sustained load in slow-moving holiday traffic, which is exactly when overheating shows itself. And tyres are the component most people ignore. The legal minimum tread depth in the UK is 1.6 mm across the central 3/4 of the tyre, but the RAC advises replacing at 3 mm, because wet weather grip falls away sharply below that. Check pressures too, since a fully loaded car heading on holiday needs higher pressures than the everyday figure, and the correct numbers are printed inside your driver's door frame or fuel flap. Add a coolant check, top up the screen wash, and put a few litres of drinking water in the boot. That last one matters most if you end up stationary on a closed carriageway. Conditions themselves change how you should drive. In wet weather, stopping distance is roughly double, so the familiar 2-second gap to the vehicle in front should become at least 4 seconds in rain. The first rainfall after a dry spell is the most treacherous, because it lifts oil and rubber residue off the surface before it washes it away. In bright conditions, the highway code is explicit that you should keep your vehicle well ventilated in hot weather to avoid drowsiness, and that dazzling sunlight is a genuine hazard, particularly around sunrise and sunset. In London today, first light arrives at roughly 5:25 in the morning and the sun sets shortly before 10 to 9 in the evening, so the low glare windows sit right across the commuting peaks. Keep sunglasses within reach and your windscreen clean inside as well as out. And on smart motorways, treat a red X as absolute. Driving in a closed lane carries a £100 fine and 3 penalty points. Timing is everything this week, and Tuesday works in your favour. The heaviest cross-channel demand at Dover and Eurotunnel falls on summer Saturdays, when holiday changeover days concentrate tens of thousands of vehicles into a handful of hours. A midweek crossing today avoids the worst of that entirely. On the railways, the risk is temperature-related rather than volume-related. Because rails absorb heat and can run far hotter than the air, operators apply blanket speed restrictions on the hottest afternoons, which does not usually cancel services but does stretch journey times and break connections. If you have a tight interchange booked, build in slack. At airports, the pinch point in early August is the security and baggage window in the early morning rather than the flight itself, so arriving at the recommended time rather than the optimistic one is worth more than any other trick. Pre-season football is also building crowds again, with Wolves hosting Racing Santander at Molino on Sunday the 2nd of August. The health side of a British summer day is easy to underestimate because our temperatures rarely look dramatic on paper. Ultraviolet radiation is strongest between 11 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon, and it passes through thin cloud, which is why people are caught out on days that never felt especially sunny. The standard advice holds: use sun cream of at least factor 30, reapply roughly every 2 hours and always after swimming, and seek shade in that midday window. Hydration matters more than most realize in traffic queues and on packed trains. There is also a seasonal switch happening right now for allergy sufferers. The grass pollen season, which drives most UK hay fever, tails off through late July and August, but weed pollen and fungal spore counts rise to fill the gap. So if your symptoms have shifted rather than settled, that is why. Older people, very young children and anyone with heart or respiratory conditions feel heat effects first, so check on neighbours. Looking forward, early August in Britain is defined by instability rather than settled patterns. Warm, humid air feeds afternoon and evening thunderstorms that develop quickly, hit narrow corridors hard and clear within a couple of hours, which is precisely why regional warnings can appear at short notice rather than days ahead. Treat any forecast beyond about 5 days as a trend, not a plan. There is one genuinely exciting date in the near term. The Perseid meteor shower is already active in our skies tonight, and it builds towards its peak on the 12th and 13th of August 2026, when rates are at their highest. To see it, get away from street lighting, look up after midnight when the radiant climbs higher, and allow your eyes 20 minutes to adapt properly. Clear skies are the only equipment you need. Beyond that, attention turns to the end of the school holidays and the autumn events calendar, with London September listings already published. So here is your summary for today. Check the Met Office warnings and any heat health alert before you set off, not after. Check the National Highways Closure Report for your exact route, because lifted roadworks are not the same as finished roadworks. Give your car 10 minutes of attention on tires, coolant and battery, and carry water. Allow for seconds of following distance if it rains, respect the red X, and build slack into rail connections in case of heat-related speed restrictions. Protect yourself between 11 and 3 with factor 30 and shade. And if tonight turns out clear where you are, step outside after midnight and look up, because the Perseids are already running ahead of their peak next week. Sensible preparation turns a difficult travel day into an ordinary one. If this was useful, subscribe for daily UK weather and travel updates, and tell us in the comments where you are watching from.